Boom. Oh, look at all those people. Nice. Good to see everybody. Let's get everybody in here. My Twitter peeps, share the living hell out of this, please. Looks like we are good to go on Wimkin. T-minus. About ready to go live on Wimkin till we hear the echo. Boom. Oh, look at all those people. There's the echo. All right, folks. Wimkin, we'll see you in a second. We're going to punch out of here and go. We've got you. Welcome, everybody, to the Don't Unfriend Me show. It is election night in the House. It is 6 o'clock on the Nosy Dozy. We're going to be here all night. And the reason why is because maybe you heard there's an election. We got Ryan Samuels in the house. He's all the way over to the right. Yeah, Leroy, Amy, Olivia is just off work, just scarfed her dinner, and she will be here soon. I need my Twitter people to please share this out as hard as you can. That would mean a great deal. If you are on any other social media, do the same. Share it. Get it out there. Let's rock and roll. This will get busy. I sent it out to about 3,000 people on my network, on my email list. I know the Dumb Nation has been sharing this all day. You guys remember what we did in 2020? We called it. We crushed it. We called it and crushed it in 2022. And I've got a really good feeling we're going to call it and crush it in 2024. Stick around, and we can't wait to see it tonight. Once again, Ryan Samuels in the house. Brooklyn Dodgers fan. What a series, man. Oh, it's pretty good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. All right, everybody, 7 seconds. We'll see you on the rebound. We'll get the show started and get some coverage. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, start offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
That I hear most often, that I always try to help people connect the dots, is what is past is prologue. And although Shakespeare not my favorite, it's an interesting thing when you look at 1980 and the crack epidemic and what the United States government was involved in with the Contras.
No kidding.
So I don't understand why people are so shocked and they call Roseanne a conspiracy theorist. Because there's evidence in the past of the government getting involved in this, and there's plenty of books on this, and you can read this.
Hey, here's what I think. I love your show, by the way, Matt Spear, and
Thank you, ma'am.
Just discovered you about a week ago,
ma'am.
Oh my God, this guy's a genius. The facts he can spew.
God, I love you.
You can spew fact, and that's the sign of a genius.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I appreciate you asking me that.
So you just made my life.
I do remember back when they were bringing the crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods, and that proved that the CIA was doing it because they were grooming that population, and they've been
adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome, everybody. The polls close in 51 minutes in Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia. We are getting all of my little spies across the United States calling in. My name is Matthew Spear. To my right is... To my right. No, it's my... That's you, Amy.
Where is she?
Amy, you.
Oh, it's backwards to me, so I'm
but nobody's sitting in that other person's chair, so it's going to be hard for them to talk.
Why I thought it was odd that you would just talk about an empty chair.
Have you been drinking? Clint Eastwood is on our left. Are you been drinking again? Seriously, too many martinis already. No. Your name is
Amy. Nice to see everybody here. Excited for this evening.
You get to pass it on to the other guy over there next to you.
And to my right, apparently, is...
As I'm seeing you. Ryan, that's you, buddy.
Who's that?
Say hi, Ryan.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, is he muted? Why is he muted?
Yeah.
How could he possibly be
Can you
muted?
hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
I don't know. We just started and I dropped the ball. I mean, we're off to a great start here.
The Shure has a little touch button right here, and I do it all the time. So I'll grab the mic like this and I mute myself. So it's okay. Go ahead. Who are you again?
Ryan Samuels, man. Awesome, dude. Thank you for having me. We're doing a double stream here. So we're streaming through all of my channels and also all through the Don't Unfriend Me Show channels. For all my listeners, if you don't know who the Don't Unfriend Me Show is with Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia, it's a phenomenal show. You guys got to follow and watch. Make sure you share this and get this out there to everybody. We got some great coverage coming for everybody tonight.
Outstanding. And then all the way over, I guess, to my left, right? It's the guy who's over. No, wrong way. It's over here. Hi. Hey there, buddy. Go ahead. You just who the hell are you?
Welcome, guys. Hey, I'm Leroy. I am one of the co-hosts to the Don't Unfriend Me show. I am just partnered up with Matt. This is one of the hobbies that I have in terms of following politics and making sure that everyone has the correct information in terms of policy and information. And we just love being here.
We do. Yes. And the person who is not here, who is coming here, who just got done eating dinner and is putting her cake on is my wife, Olivia, and she'll be here in just a brief minute. But that's okay, because we've got a great night in store for you. This will be a long evening. I don't want anyone to sit here and pretend like this is going to be easy. We'll go over all the facts. We've got some great graphics for you. We can explain the states, how many electoral votes. We've got maps. We're going to talk about the Senate races, the House races. I'm going to talk about counties, and I'll break them down. Leroy will get involved. Everybody has a position here. And what we'll do is really comment on what the local news channels are saying, and we'll get some information, and we'll try to put it and explain it to you, because unfortunately they just can't do it in 10-second sound bites. So we'll expand on it. We'll bring in some questions, maybe some callers. I want to walk you through kind of the breakdown of what we got going on here. Up in the top left, it's so difficult. Let's see. How would you look at this? It doesn't matter. Just go opposite of what I say. Top right-hand corner, you can see what the next closure will be. It'll count down in minutes. This is nice because you're going to find a lull for about 15 minutes at the top of the hour and the top of the half hour. When we see states close, it's going to get frantic in here. They'll be calling states, they'll be calling districts. You'll start getting updates, and then we kind of just chill out a little bit, and everyone, kind of just shoots the shit and talks, and maybe we might break into some different segments. But that's how the night will go. There will be some things that will excite us, and there will be some things that disappoint us. Right now, that will tell you when the closures are. If you take a look, there's a bar across, something I didn't have up before last year, but this will give us our current Senate updates when they call House seats, Senate seats, and then also the Electoral College. This is great because you can watch this ticker without going ahead and being distracted from us. All the way down at the bottom, below me, you'll see an election show goal. This is what we're working for. I tell you, we have put about 27 hours into this show over the last 3.5 days. So it's a big goal tonight. We have hit our goal, I believe, now 7 months in a row. I think we're something at like 25 days. We've already had donations come in of considerable amounts, and we want to thank you for that. I think everyone knew this was going to be a big one for us. So if you can help out the show, please, you can do that pretty simply by going to a site that I'm going to pop up right here for you in just a second. If you don't have any questions, we will get started and start breaking down what we think is going to happen tonight. I want to give you a couple updates, and then we can bring everybody in. First things first, if you need that wonderful donation link and want to help out the Don't Unfriend Me show so we can keep doing this, because it is not cheap, you can go to thedumbshow.com/donate at any time tonight through PayPal. You can actually go through Venmo, and you can also send by mail, thedumbshow.com/donate, and you'll see the little dump truck over here, which gives you a cool graphic. Okay. Here's what we know. And I think everyone will agree. Pennsylvania is the key state.
Yep.
And there's a few reasons why. The lines of delineation of pathways to success, they're saying that Kamala Harris has 13. I want to be clear. She has 2. We can sit here and pretend that she has 13 because they're assuming if my grandmother had balls, she would be my grandfather, which in the sense of if she flips Michigan or if the polls are completely wrong on Donald Trump. All indications right now is that the same thing I predicted in about 16 and 20 is that the polls are 100% wrong in favor of Donald Trump, like I told you they were. And that's when I said she's not close enough. The numbers are too in favor. They didn't adjust enough. And this silent shadow vote is showing up in droves. We're seeing strong rural numbers come in from the red. I'm hearing Virginia and New Hampshire, like I told you 8 months ago about Virginia, that it was very interesting. Then I backed off. Then I told you it was interesting. Then I backed off. And then last night we talked about how interesting it was again. But the one I never did was New Hampshire. I told you New Hampshire considerably is seeing a strong libertarian vote. And if you do not know, right after Joe Rogan and my beautiful princess, what's her name? Fox News chick.
Olivia.
No.
Oh, Megyn?
Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly endorsed Trump. Right after that, the Libertarian Party came out and endorsed Trump.
And some football player's mom, too. I don't know her name.
We don't care about that shit. We care about the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party is literally New Hampshire. They are full of libertarians. Like 30% of their voting population is libertarian identifying. So this is a huge opportunity to take New Hampshire. This, remember, is the bellwether. I don't know if he's going to win it, but if he comes out and represents strong like he did in the primary, we're going to see one thing, the propensity of the Nikki Haley voter. That's what I want to see. If New Hampshire starts demonstrating that they all got in line with Trump, then it's going to be a very good night for Trump. If they didn't, then we might be in this for the long haul. My understanding is that we're going to get a decision tonight or early tomorrow morning. It sounds like, and that's also good news because these states wouldn't be calling it unless the turnout today was so incredible that the mail-in ballots they're only going to need to count 10, 20, 30, 40% of them to get an idea. That's also very good for Trump. So there is a lot of good news. I'm going to let my cohorts go ahead and tell you what they think and what they've been hearing, and we'll bring some more stuff to you. Go ahead.
Who wants to go first?
You do. Go. You already spoke.
Okay. So what we know so far is that something like 75 million mail-in votes they've already been sent in. So the states were already tracking those. Now, by legal definitions, like some of these states are not allowed to start counting them until the day of the election. Fine. one thing I wanted to make sure that everyone was tracking is that in every one of these swing states, so we're talking Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Wisconsin. Virginia's not really a swing state. But when you go through what happened in the last election, so Georgia, for example, Georgia had 2,473,000 votes for Biden. Trump had 2,461,000. So that's a difference of about 64,000 votes. So when we start getting like any sort of intel about, hey, voter turnout amongst women is down, or voter turnout in urban areas is down, and in the rural areas it's up, those are significant. Those are very positive indicators. And it's like that in every one of these swing states. So it's going to be interesting to see how the math plays out.
Yeah, it's definitely big opportunity. Amy, how about you?
Yeah, I everything Leroy said. Gosh, and I voted early, so I did not go to the polls today. I thought about going with Jason just to like check it out, but I really just didn't want to. So he went twice because the first time he went, the line was so long. He was like, I couldn't get a parking spot, and like our polling place is pretty large.
Tell them where you're at. They don't know where you're at. We have a ton of new people on.
Yeah, so we are in Northern Virginia, which is like an hour from DC, an hour and 15 minutes door to door, if you want to get technical. So we are right outside of DC. We are like one of the bedroom communities. We have everyone here pretty much works either in DC or near DC. So heavily populated with all kinds of politicians and whatnot, and everyone anyone who's anyone in DC lives within our little radius. But yeah, it was packed today, and it's a very blue area that we are in, which is interesting considering we are very rural, lots of farms here. But
yeah, and I'm hearing that Ashburn is absolutely showing up for Donald Trump. And
I would love that.
There's huge red. Like Loudoun County, is my understanding, is that everything I've heard is Virginia is high red turnout, low red turnout, and for blue, low turnout. Absolutely, I haven't heard one person say high blue turnout. It's my understanding that Loudoun County had like a 3-hour wait in a lot of its polls, and people were saying it was all Trump supporters. People who looked like Harris supporters were not Harris supporters. I mean, it's, and you want to kind of keep the scuttlebutt to zero, but it's kind of hard to do that because you trust people. And when you hear this, it's exciting news. Go ahead, Ames.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Jason did go back. He actually went back at lunchtime, and I was like, well, you're going to wait this time. But he said he walked right in. He said it was busy, but he didn't wait in line at all. He walked in, voted, no problems. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really hopeful. I have heard a lot of people today tell me that they are voting for Kamala Harris, which is...
What does that mean?
Truly disappointing.
What does a lot of people mean?
I mean, pretty much all of my friends that I've spoke to today, not all of them, a lot of them that I spoke to today said they voted for Kamala Harris, and I was like, oh, such a dagger. But
yeah, and have you heard, see? And that's
anecdotal evidence. Did they watch
evidence.
The show?
No, anecdotal evidence doesn't move me. Anecdotal evidence doesn't move me. Like when I want to hear what polling stations are doing. Individuals, I don't care. I do.
Yeah, they're like more in the southern part of the state too, so it's not here.
You're going to get that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is this: we're going to find out, and we're going to find out shortly. And you hope, like I don't mind hearing from single people as long as they're saying, when I was in line, I talked to like 25 people, and everybody was voting for Kamala Harris. That's going to give me a little information. But folks, what happens in one county doesn't dictate this race, so we might be hearing great things, and we could all of a sudden, this could all go to shit in less than an hour. So we're going to find out. Ryan, what's the scuttlebutt with you? What are you hearing?
Did you say me?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. So as we all know, the polls,
Ryan, you are coming in so hot, like super hot. I don't know what you changed, but you changed your audio. Go ahead, say it again.
How about now?
That's too low. Come up a little bit.
How about now?
That's better. Go for it.
All right. So as we see in the polls, we see a neck and neck race, right? Now, the rumors and the things that I'm hearing, and everybody probably heard this before, is historically the polls have always underestimated Donald Trump. So this time they're afraid to basically do anything. So they're showing them neck and neck to avoid further embarrassment and money loss in future elections for these major polls. I think you're right. I do think we're going to see a flip in New Hampshire. I think Virginia may very well possibly be on the table. I think we're going to win North Carolina, Georgia, and Nevada, and possibly Wisconsin. I think things are looking very good for us. I think Wisconsin is very close, is closer than people think. So I think it's going to be a good night. But if the polls are true and they're not accurately reporting it, it could look like a landslide either way. So if Harris wins Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, it could look like she blew it out of the water when she really just didn't. It was a couple thousand votes here and there. And the same thing with Trump. But I do think that we're definitely in a good position with their early voting. I think Republicans came out. I hope that that doesn't cannibalize today's vote, because Republicans typically don't vote early. And I think the last stat that I saw that we're 50% of people already voted. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. You know how elections go. Everybody can think it goes one way and then no idea in the end. So.
And I don't want to interrupt, but we hear that cash register going. I want to thank the people who voted. Chevelle, did I see Karen, Bobby? Who else lived?
Chevelle, Bobby. It was, hang on, let me get back to it.
So for the people Wanda, for the people who are donating, thank you so much. This means a great deal to the show. I want to address a couple things. One is that people are like, oh, we're cannibalizing. Let me explain something. 2.6 million people switched from the Democrat Party to the GOP. Thank you, Amy. And we'll hold the thank yous to the end, but Amy, thank you so much. So over the last 18 months, over the last 4 years, you have seen the GOP expand its voter base by almost 3 million. This is huge. What you're seeing here is it's not that the Republicans did an amazing job. Can anyone tell me the campaign that you saw? Thank you, Keith. Thank you, campaign, Keith, that came out that said, we want you to mail or your vote in. We want you to vote early. Can anyone tell me a commercial that they saw that said that once?
I can't.
I don't think I saw one.
You didn't, because Republicans didn't do that. What you're seeing is Democrats, independents, and people who vote early who have left are now voting early. This is the numbers that you're seeing. Deborah, thank you. This is you hear this new word, propensity. This is the overall type of voter you're seeing and their voting style and voting ways. Yes, people are very ready to vote. There's no doubt about it. People are excited about this. They understand the weight of this election. I think white people are pissed. I think white people have a reason to be pissed, and you're seeing them turn out in droves. But most importantly, I want you to consider, thank you, Frank, the demographics. Hispanics, Latinos, Jews are now breaking 50%. Do you guys don't understand this? They're breaking 50% for Trump. Jews.
Yep. Yeah.
Jews went with Biden like 87 to 13%. Even Hillary Clinton won the Jews. Jews are breaking for him. So you're seeing many demographics. This all comes down to this. Women are not showing up today like they should, which basically means every single vote that is counted today, thank you very much, Kev, seems like, from everything we're hearing, is going into the red column. So remember, we already chipped away at the mail-in lead. Now we're just putting icing on the cake. Kimberly, thank you. Everybody who's donating, thank you so much. We appreciate you. It helps out tremendously. We love you dearly. We're going to bring you a full night. Anyone want to chime in on those things or anything else?
Well, I wanted to add something to what Ryan was just talking about. He was talking about that differential. Specifically, he was talking about which state was it? It was... here it is. It was Wisconsin, right? The 2020 election results, the Federal Elections Commission, they go ahead and publish the results, the complete breakdown of that. And I went ahead and downloaded it. And to Ryan's point, the 3 states that had the fewest numbers of votes that separated red from blue were Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin. So, and we're talking like 1% or less in some cases. In some cases, it was like 50,000 votes, like Arizona. So, to Matt's point, when we're seeing headlines that say, oh, X number millions of people have either changed their parties from Democrat to Republican or have registered new voter registration as Republican, that's huge.
Not only that, Indiana is showing some numbers, and it's looking like down ticket. So, and that's down ticket red. Folks, this is going to be a very good night. And here's the two things. Here's what I'm worried about at this point. The House and the Senate, are they going to give Trump a mandate if he wins? That's the thing we need to be concerned, because it could be just essentially not a lame duck, but that's essentially what it is. If you don't have the House and you don't have the Senate. So do they feel comfortable? Getting some good early stats. Sorry, I'm getting excited. So New Hampshire is like 50-50 right now. So they're coming with some early election results. But the whole point is this. Let's get to it. We've got a great electoral map. I want to show you kind of a few things that you're going to see tonight. And I don't want you to be, first of all, I want to introduce my rock, my absolute, my queen, my goddess, my yin to my yang, my innie to my outie. Who are you?
Actually, it would be your Audi and my innie.
Actually, it was Leroy. I wanted to reintroduce
Gotcha.
Leroy again.
Yes, I was going with that joke.
I know. You should have. Go ahead.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Olivia. I'm, like Matt said, I'm the other half of you, I guess. Your better half, maybe.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good enough. Hotcakes Petey says, how do we call in? I've been listening to him since he called in the Erickson show in Atlanta. Is that you, Samuels? Did you call into Eric Erickson's show?
Did I call into Eric Erickson's show?
Yeah, someone was just asking. You did, Leroy?
Maybe. I mean,
A long time ago, yeah.
or Leroy did.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
well,
Leroy, was that you? Yeah.
Yeah, but they say they've been listening to him since he called into it. You either listen. Leroy doesn't have a show other than this, so here's the thing. If you want to talk to somebody, we'll absolutely give you the phone number and let you call in. Let us just settle down a little bit and get everything going, because we got a lot to go on right now. Early indications are Indiana is very, very good. Looks like Indiana is going to be a full red sweep. So early on, it's only 5% of the vote, but it's like 65-32. On most of these. Trump 66% above Harris at 32. Let me show you what we got here so we can start getting to some of this good stuff. We'll have some video. This will lay it out for you, where you can actually see when we're watching Fox and such. Here's our layout. You can see all the hosts are right here, looking fantastic and wonderful. There will come a point where we'll put on the web and we'll go into specifics and break down polling numbers. And this is really important that we'll spend a lot of time here tonight, which will give us a chance to go into the electoral maps, play a little bit. But what's really special about this is we can start drilling down into the microcosm, which would be the counties, and finding out how the counties produce. Yes? Medicine. Thank you, sweet pea.
Sorry.
Sorry, I gotta take my drugs.
I forgot to give it to you when I walked in.
Mm-hmm. Occasionally, you're going to hear us talk about the path. And this is actually, will show you the winning combinations. It's probably a good idea we start here, so I'll come right back to this and show you the path. We'll refer to this every once in a while. We're going to put a red line through every time Kamala loses a path, which will be early, in my opinion. Muting. Can everyone hear me okay now?
Yep, you sound fine.
I can hear you.
Yeah, no, I know to you, but it's muting for some reason. I got to change this. Somebody else talk real quick. Let's talk about anything. I don't care.
I will say I did hear a lot of women who did not choose to vote, and no one that I know personally, but just hearing other people who know other people, they're not choosing to vote because they just genuinely have a disdain towards Donald Trump. But the Democratic Party has gone so far left, they cannot cast their vote for them either. And I think it's going to be a really rude awakening to the Democratic Party to see that they have lost a lot of their base because they're so left. And most of their people are fairly normal, not far left. So
you seem very negative tonight. Like you think he's going to lose tonight. It sounds like, yeah. You've
no,
been
I
so
don't think
far.
that at all. I
Sounds like
actually am like I said
You're
yesterday.
like, come on, all my friends are voting for Harris, and now it's like everybody's like, everyone I talk to is like, they don't want to vote for Trump. They want to vote for anyone but. And I'm just like, gosh, Amy, this is Donald Trump you're voting for, aren't you? Are you a Harris fan?
This is my third time I voted for him in every election that he has run in.
We have to lie to people. We can't tell them the truth. So stop being honest. No, listen, this is good. I want that different perspective. Do you think she's going to overperform tonight? It sounds like you're setting yourself up for that. Am I wrong?
No, I genuinely do not. So look, everyone knows I'm the holy roller Bible thumper of the group. So I genuinely believe that there is good and evil. And evil does win a lot. I don't foresee evil winning today. I genuinely have a good feeling about it. I am still nervous. I'm still cautiously optimistic, but I really do feel that it's going to be a positive change for our country. We certainly need this. We need this. Because
I was going to say, kid, is that I rely on you for our God element. And if you're not feeling positive, I'm going to shit a purple Twinkie, because I care about your opinion. I care about everybody's. You wouldn't be on the panel if I didn't care about your opinion. So when I hear you are like, well, and I'm like, maybe there's something you're seeing. What's funny is I think someone put it good, or put it well. Hold on. Roxanne says, sure, one of those truthful Debbie Downers.
Yeah, that's me. I pretty much am always the depressed one right now. I never, ever like the Debbie Downer. Am I?
She's not. No, not at all.
I just feel like nervous. So I think I've been asking a lot of questions today of people that are more thoughtful, or like, hey, what have you heard? What are your friend groups saying? Have you, like, that was the consent. Like, yeah, come on, Trump. Like, we all got our Trump gear on. Like, that wasn't the conversation today. It was more serious.
And I'm like, oh, this is.
Oh, got it.
What?
Okay.
What?
Nothing. It was my speaker. Never mind.
Same. I couldn't hear you either. I was like, I thought you were muted.
No, Matt, you were muted for a second there.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, something's happening.
But to Amy's point,
can we time out? We got to fix audio. So this is now the second time I've had struggles with audio, so I got to figure out why. Something is looping that's causing an audio interference. Here's what we're going to do. Whenever you guys hear it, you need to tell me. Okay?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
Ryan, go ahead.
So to Amy's point, I think what she was trying to articulate is that in this election, in 2020, there was a major sense of urgency for the Democratic Party to go out and vote due to the pandemic and the rhetoric that was portrayed. In this election, I don't think Democrats have that same sense of urgency to really get out. And I think that's showing in the early voting numbers. Supporters and the independents.
Wait, stop. What, Leroy? It's the what?
It was doing it again. I was watching your Clips movie.
Yeah, but why? Okay, so everyone hold on a second. It's happening just 1 second. It's going to be a video glitch that's overtaking the audio. So hold on, we'll figure it out in 2 seconds. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. That's fine. It might be Leroy's backdrop, because I see it hiccuping when it loops. And sometimes the audio kicks out. Let me change his backdrop real quick, and that will hopefully make a difference. And I'll go to a static image, and then hopefully we can stop this drama for your mama.
Also, the last 6 donations, they haven't popped up on the screen. It's gone in the total, but it hasn't popped up.
I don't have it. You're going to have to take those out. I forgot to put it back in.
Got it.
So could you please take
I'll
it out?
I'll just go through and name them, because
why don't you do that real quick? Go through and name them, and then hold on. Everybody hold on a second.
Adjusting
Last time this
transmitter
happened,
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
All right, that should fix the problem. And I think why we were getting that audio cutting out is because of that video that was looping. I saw it hiccup behind Leroy, so that means that there's a glitch in the video. Now that should stop the audio issue. If it doesn't, we'll fix it. This is why we do this now, and we're still a few minutes from polls closing.
Did you put up the thing?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so Thomas Austin donated. Kimberly Juggemeyer.
Did you take them off?
No, I didn't. There's like 8 of them.
But it's not showing at the bottom.
Oh, it did.
It's not showing now. 1 second.
It did. It was
It's
showing.
it's okay. We got some glitches, folks. This happens. Let's see. There it is.
There
Okay,
it is.
go ahead. Call them all out.
So Charity Lamb, Jennifer McCarver, Kimberly Bonnar, I think is how you say it.
Yep.
And then you did say Kevin donated. I remember you said thank you to Kevin. So
Yep.
everyone before him.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Halfway to our goal already. You are amazing.
Appreciate it, everyone.
Who was talking? I think it was Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan, finish up. I apologize for the interruption, my brother.
No, all good, man, all good. But I do think the sense of urgency in this election is higher for Trump supporters than it is for Harris supporters. And I think that's showing in the early polling, and I think that's what Amy was trying to say, is that the majority of people who they don't really like Harris, they can't stand Trump, I'm out. I'm just not going to vote. I could care less about it. I'm just going to go about my life. And, they're abstaining from the vote, which is going to help us this time around.
So, yeah, these are the first. Kentucky, Georgia, this is battleground polls are now closing. So I've got to update this, and this is where Olivia is going to have to help me. Olivia, battleground, what's the next round of closures, please? In 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll fix that graphic for you once again. Right now, Vermont is less than 1% in. Interested to hear this, but we know that there's going to be some that are pretty much going to be pretty much static. But you've got Scott and Charleston up there for governor. Governor, I haven't went into. It was very strong for us in 2020. It was very strong for us in 2016. I imagine the same will happen here. Hill and Malloy in Vermont also are coming up, and then we'll break down each race for you and show you where we're at. Olivia, where are we at?
At 7:30, 3 states: North Carolina, Ohio.
Nope. I need 19 minutes and 15 seconds. What closes?
The first ones. Georgia.
Okay, hold on. GA, go.
Indiana.
IN.
Kentucky.
Okay.
South Carolina.
Okay.
Vermont.
Okay.
Virginia.
Okay. So there you go. There's the next close-ins. You're seeing battleground states, and these numbers will come in super hot and super fast. Georgia closes at 7:00. So let's go into overall early predictions when it comes to the pathways. I wanted to go ahead and talk about this tonight, and this is really important. And what we're looking at, Leroy, remind me every time you see that graphic up behind you, tell me to change it, please.
Okay.
It's going to be on every new scene we go to, and I got to get rid of it because if I don't, it's going to continue to screw up our audio. I think we fixed it. We've had no more problems, and my audio. I'm very surprised. We never have audio screw ups on this show.
Yeah, never seen that before.
Never. It's just it's a video hiccup in the software, and what happens is that video has audio on it, and it's taking our mics hostage, and it's trying to mute our mics because when you play something through the computer, you can get feedback. So it's the software. Luckily I've been doing this long enough.
If you wanted to, not necessarily tonight, but at some point, if you wanted to send me a 4K image of what you've got behind me, I'll just throw it on my software, and that way you never have to deal with it again.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I kind of like to paint your background, if you know what I mean. All right, let's move on.
You do.
Now, Democrat Party winning combinations. These are the combinations, and I want to make sure I explain this to everybody. If Kamala Harris takes what she is supposed to take, these are the swing states and the toss-ups. These are the ones that are pretty much in contention. Now, I think Donald Trump is going to pull a blue state out of his hat. Now, for some reason, I just feel there's going to be an upset or two. But let's just assume. So first one is Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina. If she takes combination of those three, she gets 277 to win. Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Minnesota, or is that Michigan? That's Michigan. 276. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Michigan, 276 again. Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, 273. Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, 271. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Wisconsin. You guys notice a common theme here, Pennsylvania? PA, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Now, here's where we start getting a little bit of rubs. This is where her overall pathways are ridiculous. Just open your Coke, whoever it is. Just crack that sucker open. Just open it. Stop making it quiet. Just open it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. The next one you don't want to take a look is Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Nevada. She's going to have to take Georgia and North Carolina. We're going to go into that. So let's look at this real quick just so we can all understand what we're dealing with. When we look at Georgia, it's obviously a swing state. Electoral votes are 16. It's a big state. Population 10.8 million. Joe Biden took Georgia in 2020. They also took the Senate, but the governorship, the gubernatorial, stayed with Kemp. And then in 2016, Donald Trump took Georgia. When we take a look, though, at North Carolina, this is where we start getting into some hopeful territory. Also 16 votes, population 10.7. But Donald Trump held it in 2020 and 2016 and honestly kicked ass in both times that he took it. So to sit here and say, oh, well, all she's got to do is take North Carolina and Georgia, good luck, because Georgia is most assuredly showing red and North Carolina is showing red for Donald Trump. The rest of it, we might as well not move forward. And the reason why is because the last one, number 10, is North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada. Michigan and Wisconsin are also showing some very favorable numbers for Donald Trump. I think she's got a +1 in both states. That's not enough. So her pathway, the most honest in this whole thing, just to be honest with you, is I want you to take a look at number 7, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. That is the most realistic opportunity for her to win. And probably one of the only opportunities. I'm just going to be honest with you. The rest of these are all very, very improbable. So she really has one. And this is the thing, is that they're going to tell you that she has 13 or 10 different ways. Truly, she's got one. She's got one. Yeah. She's got to win Pennsylvania. She's got to get Michigan and Wisconsin or a variation above. Without Pennsylvania, she's pretty much toast. So this is why it is such a big path. Now let's go look at Trump, which is a completely different situation and a lot more positive. He has 13 different pathways. And not only that, but he's got give. I want you to take a look here, folks. All the way from number 6 to number 1, he's got bullets to spare in his gun, right? So he can lose some of those lower red states just by an upset and still have a cushion. The easiest path to victory and most realistic is Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina. That's it. That's as simple as it gets for him. He wins Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina. This race is over. And all of these look like they may come in. Pennsylvania is going to be 75% in. And when you're down almost 1.1 million votes for Democrats, there's a good chance that Pennsylvania is going to get called tonight. So Leroy's going to owe me some money.
What are you talking about? I didn't bet you.
Yeah, you did. You told me that Arizona and Pennsylvania probably wouldn't be in tonight.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did. I remember saying that.
But the good news is that I could be, the bad news is I could be wrong, right? So we're not sure. We're looking like it's going to be positive and a very big chance that they could. So this is where we're at. The likelihood of path for Donald Trump, he really has, I mean, just if we go back to this and just look at this one more time. there's nothing on here that's unrealistic. It's 3 state combinations. That is really good for him. Whether it's Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, but here he has outs. Georgia, North Carolina, and Michigan's a very real probability. Number 4. Number 7, Georgia, North Carolina, and Wisconsin, as our good friend Ryan Samuels just said, with Wisconsin possibly being in play. Now, the nice thing about Wisconsin and Michigan, folks, is they don't declare party. So you really don't know who's voting. So the way you break down that is by district, and you look at the overall voting number by district. And if we start seeing heavy numbers coming out and they haven't counted the mail-in ballots yet, well, then we know that it's leaning red. If it's a lot of mail-in ballots or consistent with what they've reported as early voting, then we know that, once again, we're right there with them in the early voting quagmire. Let's take a look at something else. Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin. Number 9. Look at number 11, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada. So he has outs. Now, Nevada is going to be an interesting one because we just don't know how they're going to do with their elections. Now, they've sworn up and down the Christmas tree that they've made enhancements. Pennsylvania is saying that they're going to be able to count faster than they've ever counted. Maricopa County are a bunch of shitbags, but we hope that Maricopa County won't be necessary and Arizona isn't even needed. That's what we really hope. We hope by 10 o'clock, we're like, you know what? We don't even need Arizona. Let's move on. So anybody else want to chime in here?
Well, I was talking to my mom on the way home.
Yep.
And she was telling me she'd heard that a bunch of schools, colleges, high schools, and possibly some middle schools are closed tomorrow so people can have emotional support.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the colleges, the liberal colleges, but, people are going to be, so drastically upset by this. It's just, I was like, oh,
Scream
boy.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a little interesting. By the way, I don't know if you guys just saw, but New Hampshire governor race is like 89% to 10% red. Now, it's early, but that's incredible. So New Hampshire, if this is the way it's going to go, where down ticket looks this way, folks, it's going to be a very good night for Donald Trump. It's early, but you can see, look at the scroll down here. New Hampshire's 50-50, less than 1%. Now, the reason why that is, if anybody can tell me, can anyone tell me why it's at 50%?
Because there's not enough in to calculate, to tabulate,
yeah.
right? I mean, there's...
Yeah, but if you look, it's only 3 votes and 3 votes on each side. So this is an interesting. Ryan, does anyone know about the county in New Hampshire and how they do this each year? Okay,
Coos County.
So, it's not Coos. I don't believe is the name because I don't know if I can say that word without getting a red flag because it's very nasty. But in New Hampshire, every year, there are 6 residents. Now, it's changed over the years. Sometimes there's been 11 and 7. And the county itself, at midnight, they go and vote. And it's only 6 people, but it is the first county that declares every single election. It's kind of a cool thing. And it's Dixville Notch is the name of the county. So Dixville Notch in 2016, just if everyone's interested.
Okay.
Dixville Notch went to Donald Trump. Dixville, actually, wait. Hold on. No, it did not. You know what? Let's just look it up and I'll show you. I apologize.
Hey, the donation thing isn't up again. So Joanne Lutman, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It should have been.
Didn't they televise one of their votes live?
Yes,
it wasn't the presidential one. They were sitting at a table. It was kind of adorable.
Liv,
Yes.
don't put in any donations when the video screen's up. Only do it when we're on this screen.
I did, and it still didn't pop up.
No, you didn't.
But I will make sure
Sweetie
from
pie.
now on.
Hey, hun. No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
Okay.
No, you didn't, because it's right here, and I'm looking at it. So
Okay.
on this screen, do it. And on video, let me see if I can get this on real quick. If anybody wants to look up Dixville Notch 2016, I would appreciate it and help us out here. Whenever we're stuck on something, that helps keep the show moving forward because I can't do all of it by myself.
5-1 in 2020 for Biden.
Okay, 5-1 for 2020 Biden. So 6 people voted. Where was it in 2016?
That I don't know.
Did you look it up, or did
No, Mel put it up on chat.
Yeah, I knew 2020. I did not know 2016. I wanted to say it was for Trump, but it very well could have went for Clinton. I just want to find out where.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, just let me know. 2016, 5-1 in 2020, and if someone can find that as fast as humanly possible,
I'm looking up right now.
I don't know if this is accurate, but according to the BBC, it says that Dixville Notch delivers a 3-3 tie in the first. That was 4 hours ago.
That's what I just said, though.
4-2 for Hillary.
Yeah, 4-2. That's right. That's what I thought it was. So 4-2 Hillary, in 5-1 for Biden, and then this year it's tied 3-3. That's why it's 50-50 in New Hampshire.
This is why you don't ask me to look things up.
Yeah, so it's 50-50. So in New Hampshire, they don't have any other counties counted except for Dixville Notch, but they actually counted at 12:01 midnight last night. And they do a pretty decent job. To see that they have split is ridiculous. Like, that is usually predominantly Democrat. They went with Kennedy. I know they went with Clinton. I'm pretty confident they went with Obama both times. So to see it split is also a good indicator. These type of things you should watch for. These type of things you should see. Any donations?
Imagine what the 6 people in that county, what their living circumstances like. Like, if you're the only 6 people in the county, I am just picturing, like, you have some money. You don't necessarily have to work, 60, 80 hours a week like the rest of us. And so maybe they have a little more downtime to invest into their, looking into politics and kind of getting more used to their political system.
Yeah, it would be. Can you imagine? It'd be like us 5 living in a county,
right?
And then can you imagine that all of a sudden we split? I mean, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, these are neighbors, these are friends. So some of them are voting for Trump. Now, the interesting thing is 4 of them are Republicans and 2 of them are Democrats. So
that's interesting,
right? So that means 1 Republican went for Kamala Harris, or how would that work out? So it was 4-2 and it's 3-3. Yeah. So one jump sides over to Kamala. So it's interesting. I mean, it's just something to think about, but this is a tradition.
One of the wives didn't tell her husband who she was voting for.
I'm sure she didn't. Like any good liberal shouldn't. Have you seen those commercials? So that's
for
where
those
see it right
commercials
there.
we saw the other night where they actually took effect. That was the one vote that's going to be affected throughout the entire voting process.
Yeah, let me rewind this real quick just so you can see it. What we're talking about here. If you take a look at Fox, Kentucky, look at that, Kentucky folks. Kentucky might turn blue, my ass. So take a look. Harris 3, Trump 3 in New Hampshire. That's the Dixville Notch last night vote. So this is interesting to see that split. Is pretty cool. Just something to think about. So when we take a look at that, here's just to walk through the rest of this and then we'll be done. So let's just say Alabama. We don't want to jinx anything, but if Alabama comes in and we declare it, you will see that we will go ahead and declare Alabama as the winner for Donald Trump. And we will keep that up there and we'll try to give you some updates as soon as they come in. The kids are going to help us a little bit too and make sure that we stay on top of the changes in the overall race. We got about 4 minutes till the first polls close. What you can expect is that you will see numbers come in fairly quickly, and we should get some answers fairly quickly about where the country is voting. You'll also get some exit polls. You can see also, if you take a look on the right-hand side, the battleground states in this little window, you can start seeing some of the Senate races that are coming up. We'll go into these later in the night. Maybe. New Hampshire Governor Ayotte and versus Craig. She's getting just shellacked, but once again, that's just from the Dixville Notch poll. So anything you see in New Hampshire right now, everyone needs to breathe because those are just 6 people in one county. Indiana looks very favorable for red right now. Okay. Comments and questions from anybody? We're available.
Who's got questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was I don't know what I sent the other day, and I was like, "Is this accurate?" They were advertising it during like a car race. What?
I don't know.
Remember they had like a winner up I forget which company. I think it was, I don't know if it was CNN or Fox. I have no idea. But I sent it to you guys asking, is this real? I haven't fact checked this yet.
I
They're
did not have
testing
a,
it. I'm curious to see what the final number is there. That's all.
I did not have a chance to watch it. I am so very sorry. So
It's okay.
I did
We watched
not.
it the other day.
I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, I think I remember you sent it, and it said that it had already come in. The state had already been called, or something like that.
Right.
And we mentioned it on the show,
yeah.
and you said it was
I
like
see.
they're just practicing or something.
No,
like
I
that.
said it's probably some stupid. Yes. I'm not listening. I pull Amy all the time, but I'm running a show here, so I got too much shit to do. And so you ignoring me is just you being rude, and me ignoring you is actually necessary. So, so we have Matt's a dick. No, I'm not. We're kidding. We're joking. We're having fun. We're family. So let that commercial, that whole thing. They're running their screens, and they're supposed to put like the alligator mouth and 1% to show that it's not a real poll number. And they do this all the time, or not a real election result. But obviously somebody put it in Pennsylvania in a very blue district. And there's no doubt that was on purpose. But not too worried about that. We will be watching that county tonight. Taking a look at Indiana, we got some early results here. And 204,000 votes, a total of what looks to be about 329,000 votes are in. 60% are going for Jim Banks, versus Valerie McRae. She's at 37%. It's a fairly small sample size because it's only about 11% of the vote, and there's 2.7 million votes coming in. But you can take a look at some of these counties. Are fairly close, but they are going predominantly heavy red in these rural counties. Now, once Indianapolis comes in, which hasn't even scratched the surface, we're going to see a different tale. You'll see that these surrounding counties are Indianapolis, and those are most assuredly going to be blue. But all these rural areas will come in fairly red, and that's what we're seeing right here. So, so far, this Senate race is what we expected. He is expected to win. Whether he does or not, obviously, we will see in the short future.
You know, what's interesting is Indiana having Eric Holcomb is the governor there, right? And he's a Republican, so it's already a kind of a red lead state. And so now we're seeing kind of these early numbers that are coming in that are pretty favorable for Trump. I went ahead and looked up the last election, and the split between them, what separated the Democrats from the Republicans was like 60,000 votes. That's it. Not a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how that transpires as the counties continue to fill in what they've got.
Yeah. And that's Amy's absolutely right. She says 4 of the 92 counties are blue. That's right. That's why I told you those 4 little areas around Indianapolis, most assuredly. This is kind of insight that I study these maps. I study the districts. We'll break them down together, and we'll be able to go ahead and make some predictions. Matt and guest, how's the House and Senate breaking down? I realize it's early. I will say what my thoughts are. Ryan will give you his. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and go first, and then I will tell you what I think. House and Senate, buddy.
So I'm looking at. I think we're gonna take the House. I think we're gonna have. I think we're gonna take about maybe 52, possibly 54 seats. I'm actually on Daily Wire looking at theirs. I know that you're looking at NBC and all that. For the Senate, it looks like we're in a 61 to 36% lead in Indiana, and the House is kind of trickling. Not everything's there, but you know, to have a sweep, you know, or I'm not going to say red wave, but would be a major statement to the establishment from the people that we're no longer just going to tolerate this nonsense. And that's really what I'm looking for. And I'm sure everybody's looking for that too. But yeah.
Well, I don't disagree. Here's the thing. Worst case scenario is Senate looks like it's going to fall within our favor.
Indiana was just called.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Sorry.
Don't do that. We're not there yet. Yeah. So that's going to get very confusing tonight if we do that. So we got to try to call it as a surprise and there's got to be some showmanship here. So let's not just blurt out results. I know we're excited, but there's a cadence to this, and let's just do it when we're done talking. That way, people don't lose their train of thoughts like I just did, and I have no idea what I was going to say.
Sorry.
So it's okay. Don't be sorry. It's just the way we have to run the show is somewhat professional, and cutting people off and interrupting them is we just have learned after 4 years it's just not the way to do it. I think what we were saying is where will we be? What's that?
I said it's only what you do to me.
Yeah, but you deserve it.
I know.
So-
I didn't say it wrong. I'm just saying
There's-
it's allowed. It's only allowed
So-
one way here.
That's
So-
not true. It's not true. I think you're a Kamala Harris supporter in disguise. You're just being really, really fucking negative tonight. I don't know why. The winner of Indiana, shut up. The winner of Indiana is Donald J. Trump, which is very, very exciting. We'll have our electoral map. We'll pop up here in a second, and we'll start painting some things here and show you where we're at. So exciting news, wonderful news. It's huge. I want to thank Olivia for breaking that for us. Olivia, do you want to go ahead and announce the other one too? Because there's a pretty...
Yes, Vermont was called for Harris.
Yep, Vermont has been called for Harris, so we'll go ahead and put that in the...
Shocker.
Are you sure it was a shocker? So I was missing one state at the start of this, and thank God it's Vermont. So Vermont went to Harris. But let's get into our overall election map and start putting some numbers together. And
Really quick,
Kentucky, yeah, go.
Leroy's background. Someone in the comments reminded you.
Thank you so much, everybody. That's why we love this crowd.
Also, let me know when you need the new states that are closing at 7:30.
Yeah, I'm working on it. See, this is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I
folks.
know.
A lot of stuff. This is why we don't blurt things out, because it throws us all off. And I'm already off. Like, I'm already behind. It's just a lot to do, honestly. Okay, so
Kudos
Liv,
to
what
you,
are the...
because I know that there's a lot of moving parts to this, and the way you handle it, it's professional. I like it.
Well, I try to be professional, but then I got to be a dick and be like, "Hey, shut up! No talking." All right, what are the states there, sweetie?
7:30, North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia closed.
Okay, North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia. Okay, it's going to start getting hot and heavy. We're going to turn Fox on at this point. This is important. I'm going to pull up the electoral map. Let's listen a little bit. I know you can't hear anything. Just wait, please.
Ohio shouldn't be a shocker. North Carolina, now that's one that I'm eagerly anticipating. That's going to have some meat on its bones.
Reporting as well. So we expect him to do quite well in Florida. Let me move away from this because what I wanted to show you in a moment here is we're just getting...
Okay, I gotta try to fix this. This isn't good. I have to do a full reset in order for this to work.
a flavor right now.
God damn it. God damn fucking audio. Oh, fuck. We have to shut it down. Just hold on a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I gotta fix this.
Real quick, while we're talking about North Carolina, the urban turnout Carolina, as compared to 2020, what was expected was when you compare the two, urban turnout was down by more than 175,000 votes. Female turnout in North Carolina was down by more than 154,000 votes. While that was going on, rural turnout was up by more than almost 27,000 votes. So North Carolina is going to be one of these states that, we kind of expected that it was going to go red. It went
Right
red
around
last
75%.
time.
And as
This is going to
of
be an important
tonight,
state.
okay.
Man, not good. All right, I can only do one thing. Let me try it. There's only one thing I can do, and I don't know if it's going to work. See, what happens is that's what's known as HDCP protection. It's called copyright protection. And whenever you run audio, they don't want you recording certain things. So Apple puts HDCP in. Now the question is, does Google? We're going to find out in 2 seconds. We are going to cover my screen because you don't need to see me log in. And then we're going to come over here and see if everyone cross their dicks and tits, because we're going to find out.
All right.
We're waiting for the Hispanic vote down there in Miami, the Cuban vote as well. Broward County, 70% in.
Yes.
Heavily Democratic there, but about 60% of the vote right now going for Kamala Harris. The Trump team is saying that they're getting on the radio right now. They're cautiously optimistic. They're doing radio in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, all the way at the top. That means the former president telling people there's still time and finish strong. That's the message from Mar-a-Lago, right around down here in Palm Beach. Back to you, Brett and Martha.
You have time, Bill. We're going to have a lot of time.
Roger that.
Okay, yeah.
We have a lot of waiting to do
You
still.
know, Georgia is really crucial
Yes.
as we look at this raw vote total, and they're also getting a lot that we.
Is that breaking up?
Not as much as it was before. It sounded fine.
It sounded like there was some popping.
A little bit, but nothing like it what it was.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was actually in the studio at Fox.
Hey, Brett. Hey, Martha. So, yeah, polls have closed at a majority of locations here in Georgia, including the location that I'm at. I can actually see from my vantage point that at least one person has tried to come in past 7 p.m. and they are turning them away because this poll location, like most, closed at 7.
All right. So I do apologize, everybody. These technical difficulties is why we come on a little bit early. I don't know if we're going to be able to clean up this audio, and that really is not a good thing because we are going to rely heavily on the news. And I know you're like, oh, we'll just watch you. We love you. Yeah, but that's great. But unfortunately, we don't have a news department feeding us stuff. So I'm going to continue to work on this audio if everyone could just kind of fill in the gaps.
Absolutely.
And let's hear about Ryan Samuels and hear about his show and where they can watch it and everything else, please. Thanks.
Ryan Samuels, my show's everywhere, just like Matt's, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, everything. Show's similar, except it's just me. I talk a lot of politics, and my main thing is limited government. So check it out. You can go to ryanfsamuels.com or follow me on any social media, and we can hang out together and have a blast. So I'm looking at Florida right now.
Talked to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, a number of times.
Yep, go ahead. They can hear you.
He's really confident that majority
And
will be
right now, it
overridden
looks
by
like
8
Trump's got
p.m.
1.9 million votes in, and Harris has 1.8 for 51.3% to 47.92%. But obviously, the big counties, Broward County, looks like Harris is winning. Still waiting on Palm Beach and Miami-Dade, which is going to be huge. Osceola, almost 50-50. Orange County, this is my turf. This is where I'm from. So, and then of course Duval's, man, that's my home. You boys and girls better vote Trump. So they're literally neck and neck, 50-50, 175,000 votes for Harris, 172,000 for Trump. We definitely need Florida because that's already in the plan. So, but a lot of the state hasn't come in yet. So we're talking Polk County, Highlands, Marion County, Levi County, Dixie County, all the good old boy counties. So they're going to pull through and we're going to win Florida, I think.
I don't see Florida flipping in any way, shape, or form. So let's just go ahead and call it right now. It looks like Indiana and has went to Donald Trump. 3 votes in Vermont has went to Harris. Nothing surprising. In Kentucky, looks like it has went to Donald Trump, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Any other? Okay, good. So that's all within the parameters of what we expected thus far. Any surprises from anybody? Florida doesn't shock me. The rural counties are going to come in last, of course, and you're going to see a huge. It's just like Texas. You're going to see a massive switch in Florida because those rurals usually, like I said, come in last. Any other comments on that?
I will say I just keep refreshing the page, and Donald Trump is now over 2 million votes, and Kamala Harris still has 1.86. So he is pulling ahead in Florida.
Stop, please. Connect to my earphone.
Predominantly Jewish. Sorry. Hey, tell the kids, shut that TV off out there, please. So I want to see the Jewish counties where they come in. So Ryan, if you want to keep a look at that, because I think that's going to be very important to Pennsylvania. I think it's going to be very important to the more predominantly Jewish areas. Let's listen real quick to Laura.
Need to overcome what Trump is getting from men, both increase in support from black men and men overall. This is going to be the question throughout the night, because the Trump people and all their surrogate groups have tried to really mobilize men. We talked about this afternoon, Martha. I mean, from Joe Rogan to Elon Musk and all the other people down the line, they are trying to turn out that male vote. I would keep an eye on Virginia, and Carl knows this better than everyone else, but in 2020 in Virginia, Trump lost by 9.2, and in 2016, he lost by 5.
Just wait. No audio right now, guys.
That could be a bellwether of something to come. Also in New Hampshire, where I spent 4 long winters.
Yes.
See what happens in New Hampshire. That was very.
DC, Fox says this shit to me all the time. Nobody was saying New Hampshire was a bellwether. Not one person said New Hampshire was a bellwether. Ever. So I used those words specifically last night. Specifically, watch New Hampshire, watch Virginia as a bellwether, and watch where the votes come out. It just, you know what? It's just too much of a coincidence, man.
Come to you
Fox
as well.
News.
You know, the state of Georgia, Biden flipped Georgia for the first time since 1992, largely because of the black electorate. Looking at those numbers right now, it doesn't seem like she's delivering that same kind of power.
Yeah, those numbers seem soft. Although I would tell you I was predicting North Carolina over Georgia for the vice president, because I think Stein will be like plus 15 versus Robinson. And I think the governors, and I think that may help the vice president. But these are soft numbers, and I thought with Warnock and Ossoff, 2 senators that are popular, we would have maybe seen, you know, a better turnout. So I'm hoping this is just the early voting.
Yeah, not all the data obviously is in yet. Carl, what's your read on it?
Well, first of all, we're looking at half of the problem. The problem is that we're looking at is what's the division of the black vote by men and women, Trump versus Harris. The other thing we need to look at is turnout. A 1% decline in black turnout in Georgia over the last election would wipe out the 10,000 vote margin that Joe Biden had. So we're seeing part of the picture. Let's see if it's compensated or offset a little bit by.
Folks, I want you to understand something, especially in these swing states, is that you're going to see a lot of the early voting today come out. And these big cities have a lot more early votes at the beginning count of a state because their systems are more advanced. They've been counting throughout the day. They upload. They do hourly, sometimes 15-minute uploads. The rural counties don't. They may only have, 3,000 or 4,000, 7,000 people, 20,000 people, and it doesn't come in at the same rate. Once you start looking at the rural communities coming in, you're going to be able to get a better idea. So, let's go to presidential state results. And let's go to Georgia real quick and take a look here. I'm going to pull this up on the other window. ABC, Georgia. Okay, so if we put this up on the big window, and pardon me, guys, because this is, if you think this is easy, Liv,
Yes.
The donations aren't up. I am so sorry on this window. I'm going to put them up right now.
That's okay. Also, let me know when the kids can turn the TV back on. They were actually watching.
Yeah, tell them to go ahead and do it now.
Okay.
Is that where we're at? Have we not had any more donations since then?
No.
Maybe it's good for you to make a donation comment and tell people
Yeah.
how expensive this is. And then I will go ahead and work on this.
Hang on.
Let's do that now, honey.
Okay.
Let's not text
Talking
kids
to
right now.
kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
kids aren't important right now.
All right.
Doing a show.
All right. We appreciate all donations. It costs a lot of money to run the show, and Facebook has completely taken away all of our income. I think we made $35 this month after they charged us for ads, even though they don't do anything for us. So this show relies on the donations of viewers like you, and we appreciate every single dollar that comes our way.
And you can do that by going where?
To link tap.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Let me pull it up.
Dumbshow.com/donate.
Okay. Thedumbshow.com/donate.
Thank you, honey. God, it's almost like we've been doing this for a few months.
Folks. Leroy's background, really quick. Sorry. I
Thank
just
you,
noticed again.
everybody. Just killing it. And you know what? You keep throwing at me. I will keep being stressed, and we'll make sure we get this done. I'll tell you what. This is about as stressful as it was in 2020, to be honest with you. Let's take a look here. This is Georgia. Now, everyone's like, oh my God, Donald Trump's going to lose. No, he's not. Because he very well may lose Georgia, but not because what numbers you're seeing. You are seeing less than I would guesstimate if I make a guess 3% of the state maybe coming in right now.
3%.
Okay, so you're seeing 3% of the state, and the reason how I know this is you're looking at 90,000 votes. It's a 4,000 vote swing. That's nothing. You're talking about a place that in Georgia where 4 million people have already voted. Let me say it again: 4 million people have already voted by mail. That was before today. So the opportunity is crazy. And if you think now, because look, Donald Trump just took it over. He's at 51%. She's at 48%. It's over. Call it. Call the state. Call us. No, you can't because we're not even remotely close. So the good news is I want everyone to breathe. I want everyone to relax because these areas right here, Burke County, Gwinnett, Douglas, Fayette, Rockdale, and don't forget DeKalb is a huge Democrat stronghold. So is Fulton. So is Cobb. And so is Henry. You guys remember these from 2020. We talked about these. So you're going to see this area and also some outliers. This is Richmond is going to be fine. Jenkins is fine. Screven, I think Jefferson also goes blue. So these are the two predominant areas. And you'll see that these are going to be switching back and forth all night. So everyone breathe and relax. We're going to be okay.
It'll be interesting to see how Georgia plays out and whether or not the Democrats' message on abortion has really gained any traction in that state. Georgia has the 4th highest abortion state in the nation. And when you take that into account and start bouncing that off of the vote, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out with Fulton being the biggest county.
Yes. Fucking yes.
What's wrong?
What?
What's up?
Nothing. I'm getting validation. It's low. It's nothing, but you got, let me show you. I'm like, okay, there's two different games here being played. There's checkers and then there's chess. I'm over here playing chess in my head because I think I know what's going to happen. I'm trying to stay out of it. I'm not trying to sway. I don't want to get hopes up. But I just want to show you Virginia real quick.
I was just looking at that, and I was about to have I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead and ask the question.
My question was, last year, they called it for Biden, or 4 years ago for Biden, with less than 1% of the vote in. I'm wondering
Olivia, thank you so much. Go ahead and tell them what this means. So what Olivia is saying right now is that if you look, it's 0.5% of the vote right now is in. And if you take a look, you've got Chesterfield County really is it. But you've got Hanover, red, Prince William, Amy.
Are you shitting me? Prince William went red?
No, it's not.
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
You know
Olivia,
why?
hold on, time out. Olivia,
Yeah.
you got to be careful what you say. Okay. It did not go red.
Okay.
So let's not say things because then people are going to get really excited, and we don't want to lie to people. Okay. No, it did not go red at all, but it's 1.9%. What you said was profound, Liv. Do you know why it was profound?
No.
Because this time in 2020, Virginia was already called.
Yeah, that's what I remember it was less than 1% Virginia had called for Biden. And that's why I was going to ask is where are they at with the vote? Right. And if it hasn't been called for Harris at less than 1%, then that's a positive thing, I guess.
It's a positive for now. We don't have a lot of blue in yet and understand that that's a huge part of it. But there is a fairly large county here, and they're also showing numbers that we haven't seen. So if you take a look, it's 14,000 to 10,000 votes. That's really nothing. There is so much more to go. My point is that I was expecting Virginia to do a 2020, and it didn't happen. So the longer we keep Virginia off the map, the better. Amy, go ahead with what you were going to say, hun.
I was just talking specifically about Prince William County. I'm not surprised to see them more red. There has been a huge we have military all over the place, but I guess they have like a new something or other is going on. They have brought in even more military recently in the last couple of years. I mean, I've helped tons of people out there. So
where is Fairfax County on that map? Just out of curiosity.
Right, I will
It doesn't
show you
always
in
go
two.
blue.
Yep, I will show you in 2 seconds. Right after I address what Amy just said, the reason why Virginia, there's 2 reasons Virginia goes blue. One is that the military broke with Joe Biden in 2020, and in 2016, Donald Trump didn't win Virginia. Hillary Clinton did, and they also broke with her. We're seeing a shift. Go ahead, Amy.
no, you're absolutely right. And I again, most of our military, not all of them, most of the military that I have worked with and that I know personally are all very conservative Donald Trump supporters. So,
yeah, so it's definitely a good sign. And if there is going to be a change, it's going to be there. To answer your question, if you come up here to Alexandria, here's Fairfax County. Gotcha. Fairfax County is on the eastern side. This is the blood through for Maryland, D.C., and the Delmarva area. This is where all traffic comes through, but Fairfax usually breaks. You also, this is probably the most important one, is Loudoun County right here. If Loudoun County does what I'm hearing it's doing, Loudoun County has a lot of red influence. I'm hearing a lot of deep red voting. Lines 2 to 3 hours this morning, all red. If Loudoun County goes, then you can also expect Virginia Beach, Newport News, and down here in Norfolk to very possibly come in red. Now, that would be a far cry from what usually happens, but if you see Va Beach, Norfolk come in red, this thing's pretty much over in Virginia. And we can start really celebrating and getting excited, because if that happens, then the blue wall, North blue wall is not going to hold. Liv, excellent point, fantastic point, next level point, and I'm very proud of you for coming up with it. Go ahead, Leroy.
Can I say something real quick?
No, you only get 1 point a night, but you really should be happy with the one you brought up. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Out of habit, I put in the donation, realizing that it wasn't there. So sorry. Christine Clark, thank you.
How about
very
we
much.
do this? How about we do something cool? How about you just mention every donation and we celebrate that way?
That's probably better.
Because honestly, I'm struggling to do, there's too much going on.
Yeah, so I'll just say it. Christine Clark, thank you very much.
Christine Clark, thank you very much for your donation. We appreciate everybody. We're at 740. We're halfway there. Ryan Samuels, did you have something for us, big guy?
No, I'm excited, man. And I have no patience. So I'm trying to work on that right now. But no, Virginia, we'll see what happens with Virginia. Obviously, we have a long way to